Hey guys, inevitable unfunny sequel to Police Academy containing only women in the cast and the only male character is a charming yet tragically flawed character here with another video. Today, we're going to be doing a book review on one of my favorite books so far dealing with some aspect of magic. Now, this book in particular is by fellow beard enthusiast and winner of the yearly Charles Darwin Lookalike Contest, James Randi. And the book in question is Faith Healers, written all the way back in 1987, although it's still very relevant today. Now, don't get your panties in a tie though. I'll be doing a little bit of a bonus tutorial at the end of this that'll make some spectators think that you are psychic. Now, as usual, when it comes to book reviews, we're going to be using the 3Ds of book reviews to let you know if it's worth it to pick up the actual tone. We got dystrophy, we got dependence, and we got deplorables. So let's just get on to the first category. So this book in particular is about Randi exploring the origins of faith healing and psychic surgery. Now, it analyzes the claims made by people like A.A. Allen, Ernest Angley, Willard Fuller, W.V. Grant, Peter Popoff, Oral Roberts, Pat Robertson, and even Ralph Diorio. These are all faith healers who at one point or another in their history have made claims that they use divine intervention to heal diseases, they could cure otherwise uncurable ailments, as well as promise that each and every single donation given to them will be returned by the Lord in droves. Now, Randi goes over each and every single person and their claims individually in almost excruciating yet entertaining fashion. Each chapter is dedicated to the stories and even personal quests to try to investigate the actual faith healer in question. Now that leads us to the next category. So James has personally investigated most of the mediums, and if he hasn't, then he still goes into detail as to their claims as well as their effect on others. With psychics like Ralph Diorio and Peter Popoff, Randi himself was part of the investigation to actually determine their abilities. These are the most detailed and interesting in the book, as you see the length that Randi and his team are willing to go through to follow their claims and actually investigate. At some point when I was reading the book, I was actually audibly responding no way because, Peter Popoff, for example, would ask for checks and money for a donation to his church. Randi and his team would go to the dumpsters after one of Popoff's shows and he would find checks and $5 bills because it turns out that Popoff didn't want to waste his time collecting small denominations. Of course, you can see how aggravating this is because the people that usually are looking for help in this sort of way are people that aren't necessarily financially prudent. And I'm sure they would be very disappointed to find out that their hard-earned cash is in a dumpster somewhere because some rich megalomaniac didn't think that $5 would be worth his time. So definitely pick up the book if you can and you will not be disappointed. The topic does tread on the religious, so that might not be for everyone. However, suffice to say that these faith healers are the ones offending the most, using religion to inflate their own pockets and selfishly hoard riches taken from desperate people in need. I'll leave the Amazon link for the book below in the description if you want to buy it and throw some cheese at Pig Cake at no cost to you. Although if you want to look as fresh as the pig, you should totally check out one of these hot pieces of merch on the Pig Cake apparel store. I'll be adding some new ones soon, so make sure to keep updated on pigcake.me. And again, look at the description below if you want to cop some fresh merch. So I did promise a little bit of a trick at the end of this review, so here it is. Whoa, how did we get here? It's almost like I used Adobe or something. So for this, we're going to be using an index card and a pen or pencil. So we're going to take this and we're going to tear it into quarters, but first we're going to neatly fold it as to make sure that all the pieces that the spectator is about to handle are going to be as accurate as possible here. So we're just going to tear this up and we're going to divide this into 4 pieces because the spectator is going to think of somebody that is meaningful to them, someone that they might consider a close one or a loved one, if you would, and they're going to write the name of this loved one on this particular piece of paper. Let's say their loved one, his name is Peter Popoff. Let's be relevant here. Peter Popoff. So the spectator writes this and turns it face down in front of them. Then you hand him another one and you tell him to write the name of someone that isn't that significant to them, someone random, someone that they don't necessarily care about. So here, let's say they write Brad Christian. Christian. That's fine. And you ask them to do this a couple more times with the last two pieces of paper. Again, you're turned away. You don't see what they write on any one of these. So the next name of someone that they might not necessarily care about, we're going to go for Jabri. So that's Jabrizi right there. And then the last person, we're going to go for Randy Macho Man Savage. Now, why anybody would not care about Randy Macho Man Savage is beyond me. However, we're pretending that this participant doesn't really care about Randy Macho Man Savage. So the spectator has written 4 names, one of which they really care about. So the spectator could mix these, and you're looked away the entire time. So the point is that you're going to try to look at these names and try to gauge which one of these in particular is the one that the spectator has a little bit of an affinity to. So we're going to turn these over. Let's say the first one here, Brad Christian. So you have the spectator look at that and you tell him, sir, ma'am, I really don't think that Brad Christian means a lot to you. I don't think Brad Christian is a name that means a lot to you. As a matter of fact, I don't think Brad Christian means anything to you. So let's just go through these, see if I could get a feel for these. We're going to go for this one right here, Randy Macho Man Savage. I definitely don't think that Randy Macho Man Savage, you have some sort of affinity towards him, which again is sacrilege by my books. But again, I'm not the spectator here. So we got 2 more. I'm gonna try to eliminate the one that you don't have an affinity to. I'm gonna say Jabrizi. Jizbreezy is someone that you definitely don't care about in any sense of the word. So sir, we have one more card here, and of course, suffice to say that this is the one that you care about a lot. But I don't want you to turn it over. I just want you to think of the person, think of their name. Oh, I'm getting definite visions of Miracle Spring Water. And for some reason, Preparation H. A lot of Preparation H. It smells like old folks in here. You know, it smells like an old person. I'm gonna guess that this is Peter Popoff, and of course, you happen to be 100% correct in guessing the spectator's name of care here. Oh boy. So for this particular mental feat, it's a very easy trick to do. All you need is a index card. It's an index card and some sort of pencil, which I've tossed that way. And through the magic of editing, I will now hold in my hand. Oh, I guess somehow I missed it. Wait, did I really? Yeah, that's magic. That's actually going to come out on Magic Stream. So here, you don't need a prep, but you are going to prep directly in front of the spectators. You just grab any index card and you're going to tear it up into 4 bits. You're also going to use a little bit of a peek here, which I first saw done by Larry Becker in one of his psychometry routines. So we're going to be making use of that. And the famous nail nick, the famous mentalism nail nick that you hear people use so often and somehow be scared of. People seem to be scared of the nail nick. So what's going to happen here is you're going to tear this index card into 4ths. And the one that the spectator is going to write on, which is going to be the topmost one, you're going to just nick with your nail, which is as simple as putting pressure with your thumbnail so that you make a little bit of an indentation with your thumbnail. Now, I don't like to take any sort of chances, so I nail nick the card about probably 3 times. So I'm going to nail nick it up here in the upper right corner, and then I do this as I'm gesturing towards these. I'm just using my thumb to nail nick this one in particular, and I don't like taking any chances whatsoever, just to make sure that I'm going to be able to read that nail nick later. So here I'm going to have the spectator write something that they think is important. So this one I'm just going to write imp. So a name of someone that's close to them, someone that they think is relevant, someone that they care about. Now again, you're turned away as you do this. You're holding these. You hand this to the spectator and hand them a pencil. Next, you hand them the next one and tell them to write somebody that's not as important. So here I'm just going to write an X. And you're going to repeat this 2 more times with the remaining billets. So now at this point, you have the spectator turn these all face down and mix them as best they can. So the spectator is going to be mixing these. And upon retrieving them from them, all you're going to do is spot the nail nick. So it's going to be very, very easy to see because again, I don't take any chances. And all you're going to do is just cut that to the bottom. So you're going to cut the one with the important name to the bottom by just spotting the nail nick. So I do this as I'm further mixing them up. And when I spot the one with the nail nick, that one is just going to go directly on the bottom. So here's where you get your peak. You're going to turn the top one over and tell the spectator that you want to get a feeling as to each one and determine which one the spectator actually cares about. So you're going to turn the top one over. As you turn it to the spectator, you're going to pinch all of them and aim it at them, just like this. In this momentary little pause, guess what? You are staring right at the important information here, but it's covered under the pretext of showing them this particular message. It's a wonderful little peek, and it definitely flies by each and every single time, so it's something that you shouldn't be afraid of. So you're going to turn this to the spectator, you're going to grab your peek, and then you're going to turn them immediately face down, and if you can, table them at this point. So you're going to just turn this one, make a brief comment about this particular name and it not being important to the spectator, and now you know everything you need to know. So at this point, you know that the bottom one is the spectators. You also know that the actual bit of important information on it, in this case the name, and you also know that these two are not of relevance. So you can mix it up however you want, but ultimately you are going to eliminate these, the ones that aren't important to the spectator, and this one's going to be remaining face down on the table. And of course you have the kicker, where you could punch the spectator by being able to reveal the important information to them. Oh boy, that's a strong one, man. You don't even need anything. All you need is a bit of paper, a pencil, a pen, and you are good to go. Man, don't ever say pig cake doesn't give you anything, because that's some straight heat, as the kids say. Man, I could almost imagine people yeeting all over that trick. You guys should yeet on over to the subscribe button and do that. Thank you guys for this particular review and paying attention and staying it through all this way. I'm going to go and figure out different ways to use a teddy bear to promote an artificial form of medicine.
Again, when I see you 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 again.